Hey yo everyone, this is Granticus here, and today is another top 5. Yes, I know it's another top 5, I know. Suddenly I became a top 5, top 10 channel. Today we're going to be going through the top 5 most underrated football players of all time. So basically for this list we're just going to look at like football players that just don't get enough recognition that they deserve. Any player in history is up for grabs, so let's get right into this. So coming at number 5 we have Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now I know this is a bit of a questionable number 5 spot, but the reason why I picked Zlatan was because I feel like Zlatan's goals doesn't get enough recognition that they deserve. So for example, anyone remember that overhead kick goal against England, which was absolutely phenomenal performance by him. Like England just got destroyed that night. I remember watching that myself that night and I was just in complete shock. I feel like he gets overshadowed a lot by the likes of Messi and Ronaldo because they're both such wonderful players. But a lot of people forget about Zlatan Ibrahimovic's goals. They forget about his time, like, at Barcelona, what he did at PSG and all that. And this is why for me he comes at number 5 spot. At number 4 I have Duncan Edwards. Now I reckon about 95% of you don't really know who Duncan Edwards is. So if you didn't know who he was basically a striker back in like the 50s. He played for my club, Manchester United, so that's always good. And Duncan Edwards was an absolute machine of a player. He was one of the main sources for Manchester United's dominance throughout like the 50s. And he would have dominated a lot in the 50s and 60s if it weren't for that Munich air disaster in 58, which unfortunately ended his life back then. So if you didn't know, he was part of like the Busby Babes, which were a group of players that were a dominant squad in the 50s. I mean, Duncan Edwards could play any position, like literally any position. He even played goalkeeper once in a charity match one time, and he was actually a pretty good performance. Yeah, so I feel like if Duncan Edwards had somehow survived this Munich air disaster, I reckon that United would have gone on to win a lot more stuff with him. And this is why for me, he comes at number 4 spot. At number 3 we have England's golden boy, Paul Gascoigne. Now when people talk about the greatest England players, it's usually Sir Bobby Charlton, Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, Tony Adams, those sorts of players. But Paul Gascoigne rarely gets mentioned. Paul Gascoigne is usually most known for his emotional stance in the World Cup semi-final against Germany in 1990. But a lot of people don't really realise how amazing of a footballer he was. Like, scored some incredible goals for England, there's many important goals. He sometimes gets overshadowed because there was just a lot of great England players back then. But Paul Gascoigne was a fantastic player. He had great pace, great dribbling, had a good right foot on him. And he had wonderful celebrations, if any remember that water bottle celebration. I can't remember which match it was against. Was it against Scotland perhaps? Might have been against Scotland, but I don't know, I might be wrong on that. For me, that's why Paul Gascoigne comes at number 3. And coming at number 2, we have David Beckham. A lot of people forget about Beckham because of the way he transferred into the fashion industry. And I feel like that took away of how good of a footballer he was. Like, a lot of people forget about his amazing free kicks. I think people only remember his free kick goal against Greece, which was in like the World Cup 2002, I think. I could be wrong on that, it might have been a friendly maybe. But a lot of people forget about his crossing, free kicks. He's definitely an important player for Man United as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. David Beckham won a lot of trophies for Man United. He was alright for England. His best performance without doubt was in game against Greece. Not gonna lie, he was like the only one, looked like he was actually playing that game as well. And then finally coming at number 1 we have Gerd Muller. Now when people talk about the greatest players of all time, it's usually the same names. It's like Pele, Granticus for me, Maradona, and Johan Cruyff, Eusebio, Bobby Charlton perhaps, Lev Yashin, Beckenbauer, Zinedine Zidane, all those great players. But a lot of people don't mention Gerd Muller, the German beast for Bayern Munich. I mean, this guy scored so many goals in his career. I think he scored like, 500 goals in his career? Something like that. Yeah, close to like 500 goals. And this dude won everything as a player. He won the Bundesliga, the European Cup 3 times, the World Cup, even won the Euros in '72, even won the Ballon d'Or as well. This player has hilariously been forgotten for absolute generations. And people need to remember him. He's such a fantastic player. Yeah, brilliant dribbling, great shot power, great shooting, all that kind of stuff. And that is why for me it deserves its #1 spot. So yeah, that's been my top 5 most underrated football players of all time. And it's not soccer. It's not soccer Americans, it's football. Americans are offended right now. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this top 5, leave a like, leave a comment down below if you've enjoyed. Comment down below what other top 5 you'd like to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care guys.